Hey y'all, coming in. This is gonna be a quick live while I'm on lunch. I just received an email and I want to say thank you to Andrea for that buy me a coffee. For some reason, my email notification came in all late. Hey Sean, hey Godchilds D, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for supporting. I don't actually be putting that stuff, so she had to go and look for it. So I really appreciate that she did that. Also, I got a question for y'all. When y'all go to a restaurant and you're in the drive-thru, do you want to be greeted? Because I just had an experience where the lady seen me sitting there. The window was open. She closed the window. She proceeds to hand me my bag. She doesn't say, hey ma'am, how are you? Thank you. Thank you for your order. So I asked her, are you okay? She looked at me, rolled eyes. My reason for asking if you're okay is because when you're working in a food industry or customer service or anything, when you greet somebody, you open the window, you say hello, here's your order and whatnot. You don't roll your eyes and look crazy. Second part was the fries. I used to work for McDonald's a long time ago, so I know when the grease is old. So I asked a simple question: hey, is y'all grease old? Because these fries are kind of hard. I don't know. So okay, I'm gonna get you some fresh fries. Okay, thank you. I pulled up, I wait. Fries came out just the same way. Went in the inside, asked for some more fresh fries. The manager proceeds to turn around. Those fries are fresh, just the grease is old. Okay, I asked that question to begin with. That way I would have known that they were still gonna come out that way. But these are hard, and I don't want no hard fries. So the other manager that I used to work with back in the day, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, boo, how you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. I said, but did y'all rules change for people greeting people? They roll their eyes now instead of greeting you? And I asked this question so that way I would have been fully aware that the fries were going to still look hard and burnt, because again, I used to work at McDonald's. So I know when the grease is old what it's gonna be. But I will say this: it's a lot of places where you go and order food. I'm paying you my money. I'm not getting this for free. I want my food the way I want it, the way it's supposed to be. Now, what was funny to me was one of the workers was taking a break, and she asked, is my nuggets fresh? There was no attitude for that worker, and her food is free. So a paying customer, you want to have an attitude with. If you're having a bad day and you work in customer service, let your manager know. That way they can put you not in company's view. Because had I been a secret shopper and everything that you did, your shop would have failed. Your manager would have failed, because you over there because you got to remake the fries again instead of just responding, hey, let the lady know the grease is old. And first of all, if y'all know y'all grease is old, why y'all didn't get the maintenance man to change that? That means everything is going to come out looking hard and unpresentable. So you just gotta, when you go into restaurants, you just gotta be firm on what you want. I wasn't disrespectful. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. Working in customer service field, you see a lot of stuff, but it just be like, would you want that for you? You're one of your workers that was getting her food for free didn't want her food like that. So why a paying customer can't get the same? Hey V, hey Boo. So yeah, I just had to do a quick mini rant. I gotta get ready to get back in a few and do a presentation for my job. But I just wanted to ask a question. Do you experience that when you go to restaurants, when you ask for stuff a certain way and they just want to give you any kind of way? And then when you ask the question, is the grease old? Because if the grease is old, everything not gonna taste right. You too, V. Thank you for stopping in. Exactly. Miss Salter, and that was my whole point. See, a lot of times when I go to McDonald's and I be telling them people like, this is not supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like that, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I used to work for McDonald's. Matter of fact, I used to work for the location that I went to. I used to work for that location. I started off at that location. So I know the procedure. So when I come to you and I tell you something, the manager's response should have been more friendly. Now the one that knew me, she was like, she called me by my name. How you been? I'm good, and this and that. She say, I'm off the clock, but I am so sorry. She apologized. I say, I told the lady, I said, Cassandra, you know that when you come up to that window, they supposed to be greeting people. The window was open, and she literally looked me in my face, closed the window, then opened the window back, proceeded to hand me my food, my drinks, and never said nothing. I was like, "Are you okay? You cool?" Because sometimes people going through some, a little encouragement, but you being nasty off the rip for no reason. But yeah, if the grease is nasty, everything is gonna be, it's not gonna taste right. So the maintenance men should have changed that this morning when they brought their behinds in to work. And that's just proper procedures. When their grease is clean, the food tastes a whole different. It tastes different. When it's old, you can taste it. Like I said, when I received the first basket of fries, that was the first thing that I asked when I looked at the fries. I was like, well, I ain't asked for well done. Is y'all grease clean? I don't know, ma'am. I don't know nothing about the grease. But then when I go on the inside after the second time, I was like, nope, I don't like the way these fries look. It still look like they are extra fried. So, just be polite to them people when you go to the restaurants and stuff like that. But also, they need to understand customer service. Customer service, the way you put out and stuff. And then she rolled her eyes, and I'm like, well, she didn't even want to open the window to get the fries back from me. She got somebody else to get it back from me. And instead of the manager correcting that, she had an attitude when I came back in. Well, the grease is old, so that's how the fries gonna be. Did you think that warranted you to yell at a paying customer when that was the first thing a paying customer asked? Was y'all grease old? I asked two different people. Was your grease old? I don't know. But if I do a review and I do my review based off of being because you were being disrespectful in my opinion, y'all gonna think I'm petty. But that also tells you to stop going places that don't appreciate your business. Hey Terry, bro. But this live was to really thank again. I want to thank Andrea. I got the that said that you purchased me a coffee. I really appreciate it. because I do not drop my coffee link in the thing. I'm not monetized, but I do appreciate your support. And yeah, Emma, experience that when y'all go some places and get food. Now, see, I ain't never worked at Wendy's, Miss Salter, but I have worked at McDonald's. And when I was there, them kids hated me because I was a manager. I was over I was over complaints and all of that. Like, so they wouldn't like me because they would want to give you anything. You know that food was supposed to be thrown away in the waste, throw that food in the waste and make these people what they ask for. They asking for stuff a certain way. Make it the way they're asking for it to be made. Don't make it any kind of way because that's what you choose to do. No, that's not what they paid for. We're going to do it right the first time so that way we don't have to do it again. So, yeah. My little rant is over because I really got to eat this food. And I got 10 minutes to be 18 minutes to be able to prepare for my meeting for work. So I will see you all in these YouTube streets. You can be polite to them, but if they did that to me twice, I would be in trouble. Facts about that. Exactly. No, I'ma always be polite. I done been disrespected and this and that at the restaurants as far as like and it's always with the children, but on this case, it's 1 o'clock my time because I'm in Central Standard Time. It's 1 o'clock my time. So these are adults acting like this. So if these are the adults and this is management acting like this, I can just imagine what the kids gonna do later on when they come in. Baby, I did not play with them children. You clock on my clock, you're gonna be doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. And the minute you tell me something that you ain't gonna do, you can get off my clock and have a good day. Cause I can do more than one position. But what you're not gonna tell me as the supervisor, what you're not gonna do. So yeah. So I advise people like when you have kids and stuff, or even adults, like pay attention to your response that you're giving people. I mean, I was polite. I was like, hey, how you doing? You okay? You roll your eyes, you look at me like I'm crazy. Maybe you don't know how to be polite. So if you don't know how to be the polite, then you don't need to be in that window. You need to be away from service area. Manager should have not spoken out like that. She should have walked over to me, ma'am, I'm sorry. The grease is old. But instead, so I hope you all have an amazing day. I will see you all later on in these streets. And again, thank you, Andrea, for your support. It was really greatly appreciated.